It's a trip down memory lane, as today I'm opening a sealed box of one of the most game-changing baseball products of all time. It is 1988 Score Baseball. Let's rip. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to what is going to be a fun episode for me, because this was the box of my childhood. 1988 Score Baseball. This was actually the first product that as a kid I ever ripped in mass. The first product that I ever built a complete set out of. And I had opened up cards in 1986, starting with 1986 Topps and a bunch of 1987 Topps. But 1988 was kind of peak collecting for me. And this is when I really started to try to build out sets, starting with 1988 Score Baseball. This is a sealed box of 1988 Score Baseball. It is not an expensive box. You can still get these boxes today for like 30 bucks, but it's a fun rip for the nostalgia factor. And this was an important set because Score burst on the scene in 1988 with cool card designs, glossy finishes, colorful backs. They started doing a lot of things differently than the other card manufacturers, and it kind of took card collecting to a new level. So I want to rip into this. Before I do, I've got the Sports Card Investor app here, and I just want to show you some of the cards that we're going for today, okay? So 1988, this was Tom Glavine's rookie card. And look, none of these cards are worth that much. You can see right here in the Sports Card Investor app, if you go to the comps tab, that if we pull one of those in a PSA 10, it's going to get somewhere between maybe $40 and like $56 or so is what that card's going to go for. And that's typical with a lot of the cards from this era, right? You've got like let's say you get the Barry Bonds card, for example, here. This would be kind of a second or third year Barry Bonds card. In a PSA 10, that's like a $30 card, right? So you're not getting rich off grading cards in this set. Some will go for in PSA 10, some will go for as much as like 60 or 70 bucks, but that's about where they tap out. So we're not opening this today to get rich. We're opening this today to have some fun and to look at the nostalgia of an awesome old set that maybe like me, maybe some of you out there grew up on. And maybe others of you have never seen this before, and you're gonna see this for the first time and see what all the hype is about. Now, like all of the old sets, you used to get a lot of cards, like a lot of cards, a lot of packs, a lot of cards. And we're gonna go through these pretty quickly because there's a lot of packs and a lot of cards. And you get some players on the bottom of the box here too, like pure nostalgia right there. But there were actually a lot of great players in this set. A lot of, obviously, players today that are Hall of Famers, many Hall of Famers in this set, including some Hall of Fame rookies in this set. So a lot of really good names, even though the cards aren't worth much today only because they were so mass produced. I mean, the fact that you can still find boxes of this product for like 30 bucks tells you how mass produced that they actually were. But that doesn't mean that it's still not fun to rip. And that doesn't mean that it still wouldn't be fun to put together a complete set today. A full set of these, by the way, starting with, by the way, Andres Galarraga. He was a great name from the 80s. Galarraga? Oh, man. So one thing you notice right away when you're looking at these is the colorful borders, right? So you got these great moments of baseball inserts. I actually forgot about those. Those are cool, right? Look at that. The borders on these cards. So Score, when they came onto the scene, they became kind of famous for this design, for having we got a couple of rookie prospects there to end pack number 1 with. This was an era back in the 1980s when you had Topps and you had Donruss and you had Fleer. And many years of Topps, Donruss, and Fleer, the designs were somewhat boring, right? I mean, there were some classic designs for sure, but you had a lot of white borders. You didn't have a ton of color. 1987 Topps was notable because it had the wood border, which was actually pretty fun. And that kind of pushed the envelope from a design perspective, having those wood-bordered 1987 Topps cards. But it was 1988 Score that really added all of this color to the process. So 6 different color-bordered cards in this set. It looked a lot different than anything people had seen before. And of course, this was the year before Upper Deck came out for the first time in 1989. And Upper Deck changed the game as well in a different way. Look at Roger Clemens. Sweet card there, huh? Wade Boggs, one of his teammates there. Upper Deck, of course, the following year changed the game with their design, but their design was much more sophisticated and classic. Very clean design. This design, very colorful, and something that baseball cards had not really seen like this to this extent during the 1980s. There were actually some earlier Topps designs. You had some Topps designs like in the 70s where they were a lot more colorful, but the cards had been toned down somewhat leading into 1988 Score. Look at the Crime Dog right off the bat. Oh, and the Hawk. Fred McGriff and Andre Dawson back-to-back, 2 of the great home run hitters of that era. Mike Schmidt, Hall of Famer. Three great players to lead. I think probably all 3 of those guys are Hall of Famers. I'm sure if they're not, you'll let me know in the comments. But 3 great guys there to lead off the start of that for sure. Mookie Wilson, big name from the 80s as well. Oh man, I love these. So yeah, this set, because it was so affordable, the Score was the least expensive of the different card sets in 1988, from what I remember. It was the one that I bought the most of, and I believe that I bought the most of it because it was the cheapest. And it was printed heavily. It was easy to find. And I went down after school. Like the highlight of my week was I would get allowance. I would get $5 a week allowance from my mom. And I would go down. So I would have been in 4th or 5th grade. 5th grade, I think, when this set came out. I would have been in 5th grade. So I would get $5 a week allowance from my mom when I was in 5th grade. And I spent 100% of that allowance on cards. And a lot of that allowance was spent on this exact set, 1988 Score baseball. And the reason why I spent so much allowance on this is because I could get more packs for the price, because the cards were cheaper. But I like the design and I like the colors. And so this was, because I could get so many packs, this was the first time that I really had the opportunity to build out a complete set. And so I did. I honestly don't know if I ever fully completed it. And by the way, I'm just like breezing through these cards. Like I shouldn't have just like breezed by like a great player like Alan Trammell or Kent Herbeck. But I'm breezing by these, even Dave Bregman there. Remember that guy as well. I'm breezing by these just because there's so many different. Oh, Andy Van Slyke. He didn't maybe ever quite live up to the hype, but he was hyped. Kirk Gibson, All-Star. George Bell, he was a great player. So many great players in this set. I'm breezing through just because there's so many cards and so many packs, but it's fun to open these again. So anyway, I don't know that I ever fully completed the set of this, but I think I got pretty close. And I actually still have the binders that I was building the set out in as a kid. I still have them to this day. My mom held on to them for me all those years, and I got them, and I still have them. So Glenn Davis, I was actually an Astros fan growing up for a while. And Glenn Davis, he was Vince Coleman, the fastest man in baseball. Man, they were that Cardinals team. Willie McGee and Vince Coleman, they had a speed on that team. That was a fun team. Ozzie Smith, Willie McGee and Vince Coleman. That was a fun team. Ryan Sandberg. Yeah, the funny thing is I could probably go back to those old binders today, and if I see what cards I still needed, Cecil Fielder, to complete the set, and I after opening up this box, I probably could complete the set here. Look at that. Little Mark McGwire there, rookie sluggers card. That's pretty neat, actually. So I'm not sleeving these really as I go here because there's not, many cards valuable enough to sleeve up, at least at the moment. But I will sleeve this one, Mark McGwire Rookie Sluggers, because that's pretty sweet there. And little shout out to our supply partner, BCW Supplies. When you're opening up boxes, sleeve your cards up with BCW Supplies, penny sleeves, top loaders, binders, binder pages. They make it all. And they also give 10% off just to our listeners. BCWsupplies.com. Use promo code SCI for 10% off. All right. Let's keep rolling here and see who we see. What do you guys think of the color, of the colorful borders on these cards? I tell you what, it made collecting this set pretty fun. It was cool to see they look good in a binder. Mike Schmidt. So I'd like to get that Tom Glavine rookie. I'd like to get that Tom Glavine rookie. Hopefully we find one of those in here. You get a lot of cards, obviously, out of this box. So every single one of these packs has 17 cards, plus that motion card, the great moments of baseball. Look at that. Rickey Henderson. That is a Yankees Rickey Henderson right there, too. Pretty cool. That's a neat card. These cards have held up pretty well for being so old here. I'm looking at the condition of that one. Like, that could be a fun one to grade. Probably a little bit of edge issue on that. Maybe not quite perfectly left, right, centered. So I might pass on grading that one. But it's worth, it'd be worth taking a look through these. And look at Bobby Witt. We know Junior these days, don't we? We know Junior these days. That's Papa right there. Junior Ortiz, another Andy Van Slyke card. Ozzie Guillen, a little throwback there. Very cool. Yeah, it would be worth going through all of these again at the end of the video today to see if any of these are ones that I might consider sending off. Another Fred McGriff, another Andre Dawson. So I got those two back to back again in another pack here. Once again, none of these cards are worth really anything substantial, but there's a few here and there that would be worth grading if you're pretty certain you could get a gem mint copy of the card. Wonder if anybody out there has a complete PSA graded set of 1988 Score Baseball. Let me know in the comments if you do or know anybody who does, because that would actually be pretty cool. It's a lot of cards, so that would be a lot of slabs, obviously. 660 slabs to get graded. That's a lot. You definitely wouldn't be making your money on that, I don't think. That's not probably a good money-making strategy to get somebody like Jeff DeWillis or Jamie Quirk or any of these guys, right? Mike Lacoste. Probably not worth your money to get their cards graded, but you know what? If you're doing it for the set collecting, if you want to create a complete set of these cards, then why not? Why not have some fun with it? There's another Mike Schmidt there. Nice looking copy of that card. Kirby Puckett. Oh, that'd be a cool one. See, Kirby Puckett in a PSA 10, like, that would be pretty sweet to own. That's actually nice. You know what? I'm gonna put that in a BCW sleeve. That's a nice copy of that card. That one actually looks a little bit better centered than a few of the other ones I've seen come out of here. So let me get that in a BCW penny sleeve there. Very nice. John Kruk. A lot of big names here from back in that era. Curious to hear in the comments if any of you, like me, collected a lot of this when you were younger. Was 88 Score a big set for you? I also have a lot of 89 Score. So 88 Score was the first year of Score. And they persisted, Score persisted for a while. Like they made sets on into the 90s. But 88, first year, 89, got a lot of 89. I think 90 is the most popular Score year. But 89 and 88 are what I have the most of, for sure, in my collection. Carlton Fisk, another Hall of Famer there. This is one cool thing if you are into opening up junk wax. You know, so this is considered that junk wax era, right? Like this is where the late 80s is where everything really got printed to the absolute moon in the sports card world. It's different than today. Like some people think we're in another junk wax era today. And there are high quantities of a lot of cards being printed, but it is not the same. It is not the same as it was back in the 1980s where these, I mean, like so much of this was printed. And of course there were no parallels back then. There were no numbered cards. There were no refractors. There were no short prints. There were no autos. There were no chase cards, you know, period, other than like a rookie card, but it wasn't rare. So like a Tom Glavine rookie, if you pull that out of here, like it's not rare, even though it is a rookie card. And I say that we haven't hit one yet. Oral Hershiser, that was right around the time that he broke that crazy record, right? 1988, I think that was that the year that he did it? That might have been the year he did it. You know, none of these cards from this era were particularly rare. And like, you know, certain products today, like Top Series 1, gets printed very, very heavily, kind of like 1988 Score did. But even within Top Series 1, they've got short prints, they've got parallels, they've got image variations, they've got numbered cards, Reggie Jackson tribute card there, pretty cool. So it's different. It's not the same. And I mean, let me put it this way. These boxes of 1988 Score are about 30 bucks. I think that's what I paid for, like 30 bucks, literally. And you might be able to find them for less. I don't know. Ozzie Smith, another great one right there. Oh, Rafael Palmeiro. Rafael Palmeiro. He got a little famous, you know, post his career for the wrong reasons. Little steroid controversy with that gentleman. But he was a slugger back in the day. Of course, a lot of these guys, this was that era too, right? This was when that stuff started to happen for the first time. And people just didn't really know about it yet. But anyway, I was saying, so this box, 30 bucks, you're not going to find boxes of 2024. You're not going to find hobby boxes of 2024 products for 30 bucks 30 years from now, right? 40 years from now. I just don't think that's going to happen. That's my personal opinion. So, I mean, that right there puts things in a little bit of perspective. Just about how much of this was printed and how, you know, even though there was high demand at the time for products like this, it was just so much of it was made. Dale Murphy. Oh, that's pretty cool. Dale Murphy, obviously still a star here in Atlanta, actually owns a restaurant just down the street from our card shop here, Cards HQ in Atlanta. That's pretty cool. We want to get Dale Murphy. I'm going to sleeve this up because we want to get Dale Murphy in the store at some point. That's a goal of ours, and we'll do that, I'm sure, sometime probably this year. Maybe I'll have him sign that during his visit to Cards HQ in the future. So I'll put that one aside. Shout out once again to BCW Supplies for the penny sleeves, top loaders, binder pages, all those types of things. Promo code SCI at bcwsupplies.com for 10% off your purchase. Load up on supplies. Actually, honestly, load up on supplies before the tariffs affect prices. Hopefully they won't, but I mean, supplies could actually get something, could be pretty hit. Supplies could be pretty hit, I fear, with price increases. So now is actually not a bad time to load up on some supplies before prices go up at bcwsupplies.com with that promo code SCI if the tariffs hold and that forces card supply prices to go up over the course of time. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but it could. Dennis Eckersley, man, he was dominant in this area, wasn't he? In this era, I should say. dominatingly. Very, very cool. Actually, this is one of those sneaky cards that in a PSA 10, and this one, I'm not going to sleeve it because that one's not, it's got a little bit of a soft corner and it's not centered super well left to right. It's kind of shifted, the image is shifted over to the right. But this, I've seen these sell for as much as like $70 in a PSA 10. It's, you know, not a rare one, but I guess there's just not that many of them probably graded out there, and there's a lot of Yankees collectors. Bobby Bonilla, Harold Reynolds, some big names from that era. Terry Francona just passed by. Bigger name as a manager, really. Bill Buckner, whew. Big name as well. Not for reasons that Red Sox fans want to remember, but definitely a big name. This is pretty fun. So, you know, being able to buy Tim Raines, being able to buy these junk wax era boxes for as cheap as these are is pretty cool. Like, it's pretty fun to be able to just rip a box like this. And, you know, today's cards, Ozzie Guillen, today's cards are obviously, you know, even ripping a box of Top Series 1 is going to set you back quite a bit more than this, right? So to be able to rip this many packs, you know, out of a box. Ooh, you know what I saw at the back here? Look at that. Greg Jeffries, rookie prospect, 1988 score. Now, if you rewind back to 1988, this was one of the biggest possible cards. This might have been the biggest card in 1988 in this set. Like, this was the chase card. It definitely was one of them. It might have been the chase card back in 1988. Believe it or not, Greg Jeffries was considered the hot rookie prospect of the era. Like, his stuff, he was very well sought after. Big time rookie prospect of that era. Yeah, didn't turn out, you know, quite as exciting as people were hoping. David Cohn and Lee Smith, I just went by, but it was a fun one to chase. Greg Jeffries was a fun one to chase for sure. Oh, hey guys, I want to mention to you, by the way, that I am going to be going on Fanatics Live, the new Topps Tribute Baseball. You want to talk about cool new baseball products? Have you ever seen Topps Tribute? Topps Tribute is a awesome baseball set. Comes out obviously once a year. It's a little bit like Triple Threads. Oh, Will Clark. That was right near Will Clark's rookie year. I guess he was what in? Well, Clark obviously was in '87 Topps. I think he had an '86 Topps traded card maybe. So this would have been maybe about third year Will Clark, I think. Is that right? Yeah, looks like this was third year Will Clark, looking at the back of his card. By the way, full color backs on these scorecards. That was one of the things that was revolutionary about score baseball. Was, you know, the other cards of this era did not have the full color backs with the full color photos on the backs and everything like that. Anyway, I was mentioning Topps Tribute. So Topps Tribute is a really awesome high-end set of Topps cards. I love opening it. I think it's a little bit underrated of a set. It's like a Triple Threads, but it's super cool. Anyway, I'm going on Fanatics Live for the first time. Fanatics Live is, you know, Fanatics Live breaking and live selling platform. It's a nice app if you've never used it before. And I'm going to be opening up Triple Threads. And I think I'm going to be doing it this Wednesday night. It's either going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the screen the time and date. So you can see that on the screen right now. And I'm also going to put a QR code on the screen that if you've never gone onto Fanatics Live before and you scan that QR code, we are going to hook you up with free credit that you can use towards our break, my first time ever on Fanatics Live, and we're going to be ripping Topps Tribute. So I would love for you to join me. Even if you just want to come hang out and watch, not buy into the break, that's perfectly fine, because I promise that you will be entertained by watching Topps Tribute be opened. It is an entertaining product to open because there's all kinds of awesome autos, both of current players as well as a lot of all-time greats and legends in that product. It's a legend-heavy set, a lot of veterans. It's a fun product to rip for sure. So please join me. on my Fanatics Live debut. Would love to see you there. And again, I'm going to put the date, time, and a QR code and a link in the show description below as well. There will be a link below for you to get that $25 in free credit to come join me on Fanatics Live and be part of that special rip. First George Brett card we've seen. Another Hall of Famer there. Hey, Bo Jackson. I was hoping we would see the 1988 score Bo Jackson. Very early career Bo Jackson card. It's an exciting one to get as well. Very cool. I like that card. Little color match there for the Royals. That's pretty sweet. See, that's Score gave you some of your first color matches of all time, right? Score was a they were a you know, ahead of their time when it came to color matching on cards. So there you go. Color match Bo Jackson with a blue border. Bill Ripken. I don't think we've seen that Tom Glavine yet, have we? I don't think we've seen that one yet. Hopefully we come. We don't have many packs left here to go. We're making pretty good progress on this box. Would love to see that Tom Glavine card come out of here. By the way, at the beginning of the episode, I was using the Sports Card Investor app to check out the price of some of these cards and look at what some of the chase cards kind of are from 1988 score. That Sports Card Investor app is completely free. You hear me on this channel talk a lot about Market Movers, which is our kind of advanced sports card data and analytics and collection tracking. But the Sports Card Investor app is a very nice, easy to use product that gives you basic pricing data on over 5 million cards, and it's totally 100% free. Nothing in there at all that you have to pay for, completely free. So even if you aren't going to subscribe to Market Movers and pay fees and that kind of stuff, at least download the Sports Card Investor app because it's fun to play with and you'll enjoy it. Definitely enhances the card collecting experience, especially when you're opening up like a box and you want to look at what cards you could possibly hit and all that kind of stuff. And, are they worth grading or not? How much are they worth? Another Dale Murphy. Sports Card Investor app is definitely good for that. All right, we're down to our last few packs. Have not seen the Tom Glavine yet that I was looking for. Would love to see that before this ends. How's this video been for you guys? Is this a trip down memory lane for any of you like it is for me right now? Or some of you seeing this for the first time? And if you are, what do you think? As compared to like other cards from the 1980s, like what do you think of these? What do you think of Score? I was a big fan of Score because I liked, like as a kid, I liked that they were colorful. Good photography too. Score had good photography. I mean, look at the photos on these cards. Good photography. All of this. Reggie Jackson. They had good action shots. In fact, they even tout on the packs the photo quality. All right, 2 packs left. Let's see who we get here. Lou Whitaker. Joe Niekro. Man, a lot of names here I haven't seen for a long time. Jeff Treadway, I remember him. Benny Santiago, there you go. All right, one last pack. Who are we ending with? Hopefully you guys are enjoying the baseball season so far. My Braves got off to a little bit of a rough start. Not the best start for the Braves. It's a long season though. We'll rebound. We got Strider coming back. We got Acuna coming back. I think we'll be all right. Who are we ending with here? Vince Coleman. We've seen him a couple of times. Pat Perry. All right, there we go. That was it. That was 1988 score baseball. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this pack rip. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please join me on that Fanatics Live Topps Tribute break. Get your $25 free. I'll put that QR code on the screen before and drop that link below. Join me. It is this week. I want to see you there on our debut on Fanatics Live. Appreciate you guys watching tonight. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, and I'll see you again soon with our next episode. Take care.